Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I have been a little bit MIA, right, with Junk Journal January. My last video was peeking out, and we are all the way here to lyrics. So I have missed a few days because, life happens, and I have been very, very busy. So I decided that instead of, ending up here making a video about being burned out and stressed, that I would just do what I need to do as a normal human being and do the prioritized things in life. But I'm back. I'm okay. Everything's good. I just had a very busy work week, and there were some other things that just needed my attention. So we are back with lyrics. So still gonna make tags. I have my big bin of fussy cut things that I add to and pull from all the time. So let's just move it out of the way, because I also have this beautiful old book called Heart Songs, Melodies of Days Gone By. So this book eventually, more than likely, will end up a journal. It has some very beautiful things in it. It's from 1909, and I'm here today to look at the lyrics. So I was trying to decide, do I care about the words, the lyrics, or do I just want them there as decoration for, the background of collage? So I think perhaps the latter is true. I just want the lyrics and the music there as the background. So I think what I will do is just start by tearing a couple pages of this book, and we will aim to make maybe 4 tags today. And we'll set the music book aside. You could obviously use lyrics from poetry, or I guess those are typically called stanzas, but it doesn't really matter. There's no junk journal police that are going to be knocking upon your door. So let's maybe pull, or do I even need to? I don't think I need book page today. I just need backing material for when I cut my tags out. So we'll grab a folder, and we'll decide how we want these to be. Maybe I'll need another page, actually, of this book. Beautiful bells. That's pretty. Let's take that one. That's fun. And we'll take some lullaby, maybe. Okay. So I think first I'm going to go ahead and just tear these down into a tag shape. I'll just do it all together. And I'll keep this nice old music paper in my scrap bin. So I have a busy day ahead of me. We have a soccer game to go to, and there is a fire and ice festival this weekend at a local museum that we are planning to go to at some point. So much to do, as always. It's the trouble and also the joy of having a young little family, is that you have all these things. It's kind of easy when you just have babies for a while. It's hard in other ways, but this stage of young children, a toddler and a young child, it's a lot busier, because you're just pulled in all sorts of directions with kids' events and stuff. And you have to kind of more proactively search for balance and make decisions that, keep everybody engaged but not overwhelmed. So that is the stage of life I am in right now. Oh, this paper is so nice. It lies down very beautifully. I'm just going to use the last of my glue stick here. I find this method of using a little spatula kind of tool, any kind of a palette knife. It's just really good to get that, like there's quite a bit of glue in the bottom of a glue stick, and I like to use it up rather than throw it away. It's also quite nice to spread glue with a spatula. The small joys. We've had some soppy soaked weather. We had a nice cold spell, got to go tobogganing, and then it just has rained and been a little warm and almost spring-like a couple of those days, which, while nice, is not seasonable, so I'm not a fan. Because I've decided that I want to put myself back on skates after many years of not being on skates, and I'm not gonna lie that I'm slightly like scared to do this, but I'm gonna do it because I want to be able to skate with my daughter. So when you have small children, you'll find yourself going like, oh yeah, I used to do that 10 or 20 years ago, and it's been a while, so I have I have invested in pads, like elbow and knee pads and wrist guards, just in case I decide to do a little trick where I end up on the ground. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping like that there's some muscle memory there, because I used to skate a lot as a kid and I roller skate. So, but roller skating and ice skating actually are not all that similar for me anyhow. I find them to be quite a different, it's a whole different set of muscles or something, or the balance is entirely different, because, you know, when you have roller skates on, you've got 4 skates under you. It's more balanced. But like when you've got ice skates on, you're on a single blade, and also like, I don't know, it's just you're also on ice. So it's just quite different. But I'm hoping that I can manage it. I think I will. I'm probably like overreacting, but we'll see. My friend, he is very into skating, and he immigrated from a very cold in the winter kind of country that does a lot of skating, and he has way too much confidence in me. Like, I told him, because my daughter wants to go skating with him because she likes to hang out with him and she knows he likes skating, so he's been saying, oh yeah, I'll go skating with her. And so I said, okay. So I told him, like, I'm gonna get, you know, back into this. And he has way too much confidence in me, like terrifying amounts of confidence. He's like, it's not a big deal, you'll be fine, don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, you and I are two very different people. He is like probably the most like athletic fit person that I know in the world, like in the whole world. He is so just, yeah, he is very, very, very fit. And you know, we have friends like that, right, who are just like he doesn't have anything else in life that, you know, he doesn't have hobbies, he doesn't have children, he's considerably younger than I am, so yeah, he's got all these opinions. And I keep reminding him that we're in very different stages right now, but I do appreciate the cheerleader for sure. He is a very good friend of mine that I work with, and was a really big part actually of my like getting back in shape after having babies, because we would walk together every day at a very high like speed, like a, you know, like a kind of a fitness walk. And I mean, for him it was natural because his legs are probably twice the length of mine. He's taller than me considerably, but it was really good. And sometimes it's nice to have friends in your life that just like inspire good habits in you, just because, like, they're not nagging you to do something, they're doing it so you do it too, kind of thing. I find like value in that. It's nice to just be inspired by people. Trim this down just a little bit. Okay. All right, so we have 4 squares or rectangles. We're going to turn them into tags now. But yeah, the majority of the reason that I have been away has just been like almost every day I have something going on, and my husband is doing physio right now for kind of a, he has irritated a specific joint that kind of affects, like, it puts pressure on your sciatic nerve, so he has to get that worked out. He's working on it. He's getting a lot better, but you know, we have to keep doing physio because he just really needs this resolved. It's quite impactful for him. And so yeah, I've been taking on a bit of the lion's share of, you know, childcare, as well as like my job. We do this thing that I really don't like, but I won't get into my rant about it because I am very ranty about it, because we just concluded having done it over the last week again, and I honestly, it's the worst part of my job. I cannot stand this week of what they call planning, but it's done in the most nightmarish way ever, and like absolutely makes no sense, but nobody wants to admit that it's like not the right thing to do, because it's one of those it's too big to fail kind of things. So that's the end of my rant about it. But yeah, it was a week of annoying conversations in what I feel is quite a toxic environment, where people are kind of pitted against each other and not in a good situation to communicate. So much so that, like, yesterday I spent all my time pretty much, like, other than just doing a lot of work, just calling everybody who is a part of our organization that has to sort of intake the work that I bring them and do the actual technical work, just to say hi, I still love you, and I am sorry that everything was so toxic in that environment. Please know that I have absolutely utmost faith in you, and that, like, I am uninvolved completely in all of the ways that this is going on. I don't agree with it. So I had several of those conversations because I really felt like I needed to feel like okay with my colleagues. And not that I was mean to them in any way. I wasn't. It's just I am kind of forced to have to, like, drive objectives from one part of our business, and then there's all these other people who are there that have to do the same thing, and we're almost sort of competing, and it's quite awful, to be honest. And I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to want to participate, but I am, I would say, setting certain precedents about making sure I'm demonstrating how this does not work and how it's affecting a lot of people and a lot of things getting done. So I'm trying to fight the good fight here, folks, but I don't know. I often feel like my brain was not meant for business, but, you know, art, unfortunately, does not always meet every need that you're going to have. And I kind of take it as a half and half, because there's a half of my job I really enjoy. I love my customers. I love my colleagues. I could do without a whole world of management, that's for sure. But I think that's all of us, right? We all have these things that we have to deal with in life. Oh, look at this kangaroo. How lovely. So I'm going to be quite eclectic, I think, today. And I'm going to keep some of the lyrics here because, you know, I need to. The bonny banks of Loch Lomond. I like that orange with that kangaroo. I'm also kind of stoked to think about using up some of these bits, because I've just got a lot of bits and bobs everywhere. And maybe we could just sort of work with collaging and color and see how we feel about it. All in all. What if we gave her little wings behind her? That's cute. Make her a little more magical. This little hawk. What's this? What's this? There we go. This is a big wing. And I have this little... It's cute, cute, cute. Okay. Sometimes I get these books of animals and I think I'm probably never going to use this particular animal, but like, maybe I will. We'll see. I'm going to need something for this one. Too many bobs here. I've got this little girl. This bird. Could. I need to move some of these out of the way so I can get over here a little bit. There we go. What if they were together? She was like hitching a ride on this bird, but that bird needs another wing because I drew those birds to be like separate body with one wing and then the other wing was separate so they could be like bratted together and move. I remember that I did that. There's a wing. I don't know, is this printed at the same... It may not be printed at the same size, really. Although, it kind of looks dramatic and interesting. Yeah. I like that. But then I kind of need something to be in front of her to like... So it doesn't look like she's just like sitting on air. Let's maybe add this little bit of storm behind them. And maybe one of these labels. Hold on. This label could just kind of be here as like an actual collage item, right? Okay, I like that as it is. Now, let's see what else we can do with this. I think I want that there. I feel like there's some kind of weird anatomy showing on that kangaroo and I'm not just not into it. What else is there? Actually, that might be kind of cute. No, I like that one better. It shows up better. We have a little acorn. I don't think an acorn needs to go on here. Move that over, bring this down. An acorn could go here though. That would be good. We have a seahorse. That doesn't go anywhere. Shells. It's a little bow. That's cute. A koala. A sparkly koala. It's from one of those old German cutouts, I think. Oh, this bird is so pretty. Nah. An eye. Okay. Let's shuffle this a little here and see. Well, that could be good. Prefer to cut that out, maybe to fussy cut that out. I think that would be really cool on there. It's a 49 in Market laser cut, so like it's quite pretty. But maybe what I'll do, I'll just set that there and we'll try to put these other 3 together, and then I'll come back to that one so that we can just kind of get this all glued down, because I personally find like unset glue things to be quite stressful. It's like I just want this to get glued down now. So I'm going to do the little bits of glue this to that, glue that to that, like from top to bottom. Makes life a little bit easier, because then you don't like lose the full positioning of everything. Not that I don't think I could put it back. I pretty much could. But it's never exactly as you intended, I think. Okay, that goes there. Good. And I can pick this whole thing up. There. And then just come in the back and glue. So I was working the day before yesterday, and in the middle of the day my daughter's school called while I was on another call, so I was like, oh, I gotta go, like someone could be on fire, right? So it was just her teacher phoning to tell me what progress she has made and how she's just excelling along, and how, you know, she's just a really kind little kid, and that she's a good helper in the classroom, and that there was a little boy who wasn't feeling well in her class, and so they have a rule with the teachers and the kids, and also most school organizations have this same rule that you have to have like more than a 1-to-1 ratio between like adult and child, right? So that applies to a teacher and a student, or a scout leader and a student, or whatever, right? So the teacher, you know, the little boy wasn't feeling so well, so I don't know if they were waiting for his mom or dad to pick him up, or if he was staying, but, you know, the teacher, like recess was coming, so the teacher said, would anyone be willing to volunteer to stay in from recess with this little boy who wasn't feeling well, you know, just to be in the classroom, and my daughter volunteered. So I was like, that's really nice. And then, you know, so she doesn't even mention these things to me, because, you know, kids, they really are hard to get details out of about their school day. Like, I've been doing some active listening kind of reading and trying to find ways to get her to engage more about her day, and I remember doing the same thing. Like, my parents, they would ask me kind of close-ended questions like, how was your day? Fine. And then off I went to, you know, go outside or go to my room or whatever. So I try to ask a lot of open questions, and I mean, honestly, I think that they're just often tired. It's a long day, and especially because my daughter is kind of new to this whole school situation. I think some days it doesn't seem to really affect her at all, but other days I see that she is tired from having been at school. So I try to, you know, make her a nice little like snack and get her some downtime. And then, you know, she's not at a stage where she has a lot of homework, but homework is a complex topic for me that I think is going to be something that I'm going to be faced with in the future, because I actually don't agree with homework, and it's not something I plan to allow outside of a very minor amount. So I have a feeling I'm going to be having some interesting school board type discussions about that, because I don't know if they're going to be amicable to my decisions, but we'll have to talk about that, because they're my decisions. And they're not changing, because a child's time at home is their time, in my opinion. They were at school all day, you had all day to work with them. Now they're home, and they may have extracurriculars, or they may want to just relax, and relaxing is pretty important for small kids. Their brains need to be able to grow and have downtime, just like ours do after a really long work day. And I think that, unfortunately, our society sometimes overlooks the fact that kids need rest. We tend to treat children almost like tiny employees, and I don't do that in my house. I'm pretty specific about certain things. I mean, I'm not one of those people who subscribes to a lot of the conspiracy theories about the school system that I read online. I being someone who did a lot of homeschooling, I joined several Facebook homeschool groups, but I've since left the majority of them because, unfortunately, they seem to be very full of people who are very misinformed about what goes on in a school. And I also think that anecdotal advice and anecdotal writing, period, has replaced a lot of balanced thought. As someone who has both homeschooled for, not because I demonize the school system, I don't. I mean, I probably demonize the government who impacts the school system, definitely, because of things like cutbacks and putting their silly old-fashioned beliefs into our schools, and not wanting to educate kids about things and banning books and hiding knowledge. I'm not into any of that silliness, but I certainly don't believe that school boards exist for any kind of profit motive, or people get so cuckoo about this stuff. I just don't understand it personally. It's if you're not there and you're not helping and you're not volunteering or learning about what's going on, maybe just forego needing to give an opinion, especially one that's so misinformed. Been talking to a lot of my friends lately about the idea of, we felt like we were in the age of misinformation now, and I feel just wait, because it is actually really coming, and I'm actually pretty terrified about it because, I don't know if any of you saw this past week, there was this weird viral, it was videos, it was pictures, it was news articles that looked like real news, but anything can be real news now because of, especially in Canada, where because of a very silly legislation that our government passed, social media sites like Facebook do not allow us anymore to share actual news articles. So if I were to go to the CBC, our national broadcaster, copy a link from them and just share it on Facebook, it would not allow me to do that because our government has passed this Canada, content kind of rule that they expect Facebook to pay for this, which is ludicrous. It's actually this whole thing is a very complicated and silly thing. So unfortunately, someone can now go to Canada, whatever.com. It's not a real official news site. It's just a conspiracy theory website or something silly like that. But they can share that. So they can disseminate misinformation, but we can't share actual news from broadcasters who employ journalists to do research. So yeah, I'm not happy about that. So anyways, the whole thing with the misinformation that concerns me, and the story from this week, was about the Eiffel Tower being on fire or burning down. So clearly the Eiffel Tower is a completely steel structure, so it's quite a silly thing to think it would have, just caught on fire and been burning down. Although, not to say that steel can't burn. As we learned with 9/11, it can weaken, and the structures that it is a part of can fall. But the Eiffel Tower is completely made of steel. So, obviously at that point, people with, brains came out to argue that this was not happening, as well as my friend who lives in France. He's always dumbfounded by North American media, and the weird, strange way that they talk about things, especially to do with Europe. He always finds it quite amusing, and I don't blame him, because it is. And it's stuff like that, though. The videos are so convincing that I think we really need to be careful. Facebook specifically has become a place where a lot of people go to argue and to get mad about everything. I did myself a favor this year, and I left almost all community like groups. Like I used to join them for, like it's your community, join it. But no, don't join it actually. Run far from it, because the only reason people are there is to like get mad about things. I don't know why, but it's the truth. And so I tend to just be like, let's get out of here anymore when it comes to Facebook. I pretty much only share things there for the purposes of like my business or, family stuff. But yeah, I try to get away from it nowadays. Let's add this little word snippet from Release the Crafton. Embowered. Sheltered by trees. Very fun. Okay. So those are glued. Okay, we got one more to go. Our kangaroo here, and I need to fussy cut this flower. And then last night I went to the movies with my daughter and we saw Wonka, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was so good. It's a quite a musical film, and the little girl who plays the character Noodle is just this brilliant little girl, and I quite like, I don't know, the character, is it Timothée Chalamet? I don't know actors' names half the time, I'm so bad. Whoever played Wonka was really a brilliant young man. I liked him, and there was a lot of good acting. Mr. Bean, what's his real name? I forget. Rowan Atkinson, he's in it, and he has quite a funny role. And who else? There's like a comedy duo, and I forget the guy's name, but he plays like a police officer, and he's quite funny. A constable, like a sheriff, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like the early story of Willy Wonka, like how he got his start as a chocolate maker. And the music's really nice. And there's this woman in it who was in the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, and honestly, she is the most hilarious actress. She really made the Sonic movies funny. She plays kind of like a back, like she's like the sister to the main character's, wife. But like, especially in the second Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and I know guys, I'm here with your kid movie updates, but I'd say that movie arguably is also quite funny for like adults. I found it really funny, and she's the reason why, because it's like they have her wedding to Shamar Moore, who's also in that movie, and oh my goodness, she finds out he's like a secret agent, and their relationship was set up by like the FBI or something to like investigate Sonic the Hedgehog, basically. I know, it sounds like it's a stretch. So she finds out all of this nonsense, and she is mad, to say the least. And oh wow, does she ever put on a hilarious performance of like an angry, basically like a woman, a fool me once kind of woman. And oh, she was just really funny in that movie. And she made me laugh. I could also really see like her character in Wonka is a little more, I would say, even more of like a secondary kind of character. She's not like a main focus, and it's a very utilitarian role, but like she plays it well, and she's funny, and she gives you some kind of comfort or trust in her character to like that she will take care of the main character. Like you sort of feel like she's a good person to have there, if that makes sense. Sorry, my family were like film geeks, and sometimes the way that I talk about movies is a little different than most people. Like I talk a little more about the things that most people don't really care about. Yeah. But it was good. Although I have to say it was very annoying. There's like this massive group of people who came into the film, like 5 to 10 minutes like after it started, and they just like, I don't know what they were doing, but they would not sit down. They were so annoying. And like the seats, you know, these days, I don't know if it's like the same everywhere, but when you go to the movies these days, like you have to choose your seat ahead of time when you pay. Like I buy my tickets online, and like you have to choose your seat. And I think that all started probably with COVID. And so it's not like they're going in there trying to decide where to sit. Like they have a predefined seat. It is on their ticket. So like, sit down. Also, you had all this time. Why are you coming in so late? Like, that's what I like about going to like the theater, is that like most of the major theaters here, they don't like like theaters like the Royal Alexandria Theatre in Toronto, like where you go to see musicals or shows, right? Theatrical performances, opera, etc. The opera company, if you're late, they're like not letting you in, period. But like maybe at intermission. But I do like that they make you wait, that you can't just storm in at any time, because it's really disruptful to like the actors not the actors, sorry, in a theater setting it is to the actors, the performers. But you know, even in a movie theater, people, they're engrossed in a film. They don't need you like walking in front of them and standing around chatting with your weird like horde of 30 friends forever. So yeah, I was not impressed. I was like, sit your hiney down, please. But yeah, sometimes you gotta just get outside and people a little bit. And then you realize how much you like your studio, and that you're thankful you have it, because peopling all the time would maybe not be the best thing for you. And I think that's true for me. Okay, so any more inking that needs to get done? These are good. I think I'll ink this little one a little. Oh, the wings for sure. They need a little ink. And then we'll probably just ink the edges. Oh, it feels good to be making tags again. Oh, yeah. I was thinking of doing a catch-up video, but I don't know. I'm not going to pressure myself. And I'm sad that I missed the day of fabric. Like, I love making fabric tags. But I've been working on my 52 Flags project, the Anne Brooke project, and I have completed the first 4 flags of the year, and I love them. I'm so happy I took this project on, because you know, daily videos, it's a lot, but weekly like challenges or videos I really like. So I've decided already what I'm limiting. I have something I'm going to do in March, something I'm going to do in April, and something I'm going to do in May. And then I think beyond that, that will be what I'm going to do in terms of planned dailies, unless something really like strikes me like, oh, I got to do that. Because this year I think I want to focus a lot on my own work, again, my own kind of like plans and things, and not just be drawn into like the challenges that everybody else has planned. Because, you know, it's important to let your light shine too, and don't just follow along. But I love the community aspect of these things. So it's a toss-up, right, with what to do. Okay, so here we go. We have 4 tags for today. The first one, this is just from my bits and bobs that I had hanging around. So see how having some lyrics, some music behind something, it really gives you kind of a place to start. If you're someone who experiences that scary blank page, cover it with some lyrics, some music, and maybe it will make it a little less challenging for you to just make something fun. So that's it for me for today. I may be back for the rest of Junk Journal January. I haven't decided. I've decided to just kind of have a low pressure, you know, if I can, I can. If I can't, I can't. But I'm working on some other fun things, and I'm going to be, I have, I think, so I'm going to be doing a design team project soon. I'm going to be doing my own, I'm going to be doing a fun little workshop type project for my Patreon. I have a lot sort of in the queue coming. So that being said, I will talk to you very soon. Bye for now.